Ferrari has just revealed something big, and it's not just a new name slapped on the Roma. This is the 2026 Ferrari Amalfi, and it's a true evolution, with updates that might win back drivers who felt Ferrari was losing its way. In this video, 2026 Ferrari Amalfi First Look. Price, specs, and surprising details. We're taking a closer look at what really changed from the Roma. From the cleaner front end, to the small but smart power bump, to the part everyone's talking about. Real physical buttons are back inside. But here's the real question. Does the Amalfi finally make the Roma feel old? Stick around, because by the end, you'll see if this is Ferrari's most practical and well-thought-out GT in years. Give Luxo-Life some love, and let's get started. What is the Ferrari Amalfi? First, what is the Ferrari Amalfi? It's the brand new entry-level Ferrari, replacing the Roma as the starting point into the world of the prancing horse. If you've ever wondered what it's like to step into the Ferrari lineup without diving straight into their wildest supercars, this is where it begins. The 2026 Ferrari Amalfi is Ferrari's latest Grand Tourer, and it brings a smoother, more refined personality that still knows how to move. The Amalfi continues the La Nuova Dolce Vita theme, which means the new sweet life in Italian. This idea is all about elegance, simplicity, and enjoying the road in style. Ferrari started this vibe with the Roma, and now the Amalfi takes it forward with a fresh look and better usability. It's still a proper GT car, made for both performance and everyday comfort. But this time, it feels more thoughtful and a little less flashy. The name Amalfi itself says a lot about the car. It's named after one of the most beautiful coastal regions in southern Italy. The best part? It's finally a Ferrari name that's easy to say. After names like Purosangue or Dodici Cilindri, the Amalfi feels more approachable, both in name and in character. Ferrari clearly wanted this car to be something more people could connect with. Exterior design evolution. Cleaner, sleeker, meaner. Next, let's take a closer look at the outside. The Ferrari Amalfi definitely knows how to make an entrance. Compared to the Roma, its front-end design has been cleaned up in a big way. The large grille is gone, replaced with a much simpler, sleeker face. The headlights are slimmer and more modern, giving the car a sharper and more focused look. If you're into luxury cars that blend elegance with attitude, this design update will grab your eye right away. Around the back, Ferrari made some bold moves. The taillights are now built into a single black bar that stretches across the rear, making it feel more unified and aggressive. There's also a new 3-stage active spoiler that changes its position depending on your speed. That means not only does the Amalfi look cool, but it also performs better. And with a wider, flatter rear that some are calling a more masculine slab back, this Ferrari stands its ground. What's interesting is that the design also gives a quiet nod to some Ferrari legends and even a few surprises. There are subtle hints of the Ferrari F80 and the Daytona SP3, and surprisingly, a bit of the TVR T350 in its shape. Interior. Grand Tour comfort with supercar tech. Now let's take a look inside the Ferrari Amalfi, because what's outside only tells half the story. This is where the car really shows its Grand Tourer side. The cabin features a dual cockpit layout, meaning both the driver and passenger gets their own space. Compared to the Roma, it feels much more open and less cramped. Everything is positioned in a way that feels natural, making the car easier to live with, whether you're out for a weekend drive or on a long trip. Even the rear seats have been slightly improved. They're still small, of course, but not completely useless. Think of it like the back seats in a Porsche 911 Turbo. You won't be loading up full-size adults for a road trip, but it's nice to have the option for quick rides or extra storage space when you need it. It adds a touch of practicality to a car that's still very much about performance and style. Technology plays a big role in this cabin too. There's a central touchscreen that now sits horizontally, not vertically like in the Roma, making it easier to use. Right in front of the driver is a fully digital dash, and the passenger gets their own screen as well. These screens are well placed, quick to respond, and give both driver and passenger more control without overwhelming the space. Why the Amalfi is the most sensible Ferrari in years. And speaking of comfort meeting power, that brings us to what might be the most surprising part of the Ferrari Amalfi. It's actually sensible. Yes, a Ferrari that makes sense. No hybrid system, no complicated batteries, and no extra weight. Just a clean twin-turbo V8 that gives you enough power to enjoy without feeling like you're wrestling the car every time you touch the throttle. It's the kind of performance you can actually use on normal roads. This is why many are calling it the best Ferrari for daily use. It doesn't try too hard to impress with big numbers or flashy features. Instead, it focuses on what drivers really want. The power is strong but not overwhelming. The layout is simple, and most importantly, the controls are physical. Real buttons are back, which means you don't need to guess what you're pressing or hope a touchscreen responds in time. It all works the way it should. Another reason the 2026 entry Ferrari makes sense is how easy it is to live with. The boot is actually usable, giving you enough space for short trips or even some luggage. The new interface inside is much easier to understand, and the overall design feels more natural. All of these things make the Amalfi feel less like a weekend toy and more like a grand tour you could take out any day of the week. Should it have been called the Roma Modificata? Now, with everything the Ferrari Amalfi gets right, there's still one thing that some people are questioning, is the name. Should it have really been called the Amalfi? Or was this just a refreshed version of the Roma with a new label? From the outside, the two models do share a lot, which is why some feel it would have made more sense to call this the Roma Modificata, just like how Ferrari once updated the Portofino and renamed it the Portofino M. This naming pattern isn't new to Ferrari. The Portofino M was basically a more polished version of the Portofino with smarter tweaks and better performance. The Amalfi seems to follow that same formula. It keeps the heart of the Roma, but upgrades the parts that needed work. The design is cleaner, the powertrain is sharper, and the tech inside actually makes sense now. So, calling it the Roma M wouldn't have been too far off. Pricing and launch details. Moving on to the financial side of things, the Ferrari Amalfi comes in with a starting price of around 240,000 euros. That's before any options, so think of this as the base figure. It places the Amalfi right in line with other Grand Tours from Ferrari and shows that even the entry-level model still sits in a high-end bracket. This is expected for a car carrying the Ferrari badge, especially one with such a refined mix of performance, design, and comfort. But as with most Ferraris, what you see on the price sheet is just the beginning. In the real world, most buyers will choose custom colors, interior materials, wheel designs, and even a few carbon fiber touches. Once those are added up, the final cost climbs quickly. So, if you're wondering about the actual Ferrari Amalfi price, expect it to land significantly higher than the base figure. As for availability, the first customer deliveries are expected to begin in the first quarter of 2026. That means we're still a little while away from seeing them out on the road. But if you're seriously thinking about getting one, now's the time to pay attention. Production slots fill fast, especially for a car like this that blends everyday usability with unmistakable Ferrari presence. Final verdict. Back to Ferrari's golden era? Finally, does the Amalfi mark Ferrari's return to its golden era? It sure feels like it. This car proves that Ferrari has been paying attention. They've taken real feedback from drivers and fans, fixed what needed fixing, and didn't mess with the things that were already great. The result is a grand tour that looks the part, drives beautifully, and doesn't try too hard to be something it's not. One of the best parts is how Ferrari chose not to overdo the power. They kept the engine responsive and enjoyable without pushing it into supercar territory. That's a bold move in a world where numbers are always climbing, and it shows a lot of maturity. The Amalfi is strong where it matters and easy to enjoy, whether you're cruising through city streets or stretching its legs on a long road trip. There's also something really refreshing about how usable the Amalfi is. From the comfortable interior to the cleaner user interface and actual buttons that make sense, this car feels like it was made with real drivers in mind. It has the charm of a classic Ferrari, mixed with the smart touches that make it practical for everyday life. And that's our first look at the 2026 Ferrari Amalfi, from the price and specs to the surprising details that really got us talking. So, Luxo lovers, what do you think? Is the Amalfi a real step forward from the Roma, or not different enough to win you over? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this one, give it a big thumbs up, share it with a fellow Luxo lover, and make sure you're subscribed to Luxo-Life. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss any of the luxury rides we bring you. Thanks for watching, Luxo lovers. See you in the next one.